to certificate that the dimensions of the pieces are in the tolerance uh, requeridas, required. I don't know,
Required tolerance.
required tolerance. Yeah,
All right. That is very precise. Should be
yeah,
very precise. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Andrew. Let me ask Sebas a question. Sebas, you mentioned that materials and metallurgy are the topics that you will be more familiar with in the career. What,
Well,
appli- what applications do you see in materials and metallurgy?
I forgot to say to process design and development, but in these two that you said, it's important because the career in my career, um, it's focused in the improve the process from a product. You need to improve. Well, this career it's focusing the improve of the process from the raw materials to become it to a product, to transform it to a product.
To transform them to actual products. Okay, so
So
you're gonna manufacture different products from different materials.
yeah,
Now, okay,
and
the
in
yes,
metallurgy and materials and metallurgy, it's important because if you are manufacturing something, you are going to work with materials, metals, and all the raw materials, depending in the area of industry that you are going to be focused.
okay. Now, this is a question for both Andrew and you. I would like to Andrew to answer first, and then you. This is this question. Materials development has evolved dramatically on the car industry. What evidence can you give of that if you agree with the comment? If you agree that materials for cars have evolved dramatically, what would the evidence be? What would you say is the evidence, Andrew, and then Sebas? What is the evidence that materials have made a great evolution in the car industry? Or how would you prove that materials have had a great evolution? What is the evidence that materials have evolved dramatically? Who wants to answer this? Sebas, Andrew?
Well, if you want to be,
Okay.
I think evidence probably be the resistance for a car and the weight from a car too.
Weight in cars has increased or has dropped?
Dropped.
Has dropped. And the resistance has increased or has dropped?
Dropped too, but in some part, it's for security. In some parts, they dropped.
For security has dropped?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes. Probably I'm going to try to explain it. Um, in the car, when a car crash, all the front part, it probably get very destroyed. Probably it's the word. But some parts of the car of the cabin, it's correct to say that, DJ?
Yes.
The cabin of the car, it is more with more resistance to uh,
Compression or to car wrecks?
absorb the
Absorb,
impact,
okay.
to absorb all the impact there, and not all the front part that probably makes the people go to front and get shot to the front of the car or to the yes. After they could they could get injuries.
Get injured.
Yes.
So that means that cars have become safer in a way.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, that's very important to mention. Let me see what Andrew has to say. Thank you, Sebas. Andrew, what do you have to say for these questions? What is the evidence that materials have evolved dramatically in the car industry? Can you mention something, Andrew, please? I don't know. I cannot.
Well, well, teacher, I don't know what can I say because I am not so ah, ¿cómo se dice? Dentro, como
Not so much
metido,
inside,
not so
involved.
much involved in the topic, but I
Okay.
can imagine that the properties of the materials uh, evolve uh, in something that increase the security of the operator of the person that use the vehicle.
Okay.
But I think that the security is not only uh how can I say, it's not only, no solo depende del material, it's not only depending of the material.
Okay. So
it-
let's say, does not only depend on the material, but on the design or on what other features?
yeah, depend for the design too.
Depends on the design. Absolutely. I fully agree. I fully agree. Well, let's me then trigger another question that is going to challenge both Sebas and you. And the question is, which are which are the security points of a car? In other words, which are the aspects that drivers or the I'm not drivers, car designers should be aware of, should check when designing a car? What is it that you need to check in a car? And there are lots of systems. Mention a few, please, that you consider are key security points in a car, because there are plenty. I'm going to put that as security points in a car. Security points in a car. What do you think? Let's begin with Sebas. Sebas, which are security points in a car, in your opinion?
Um, I think the weight of the car.
The brake system.
No, the weight.
Oh, the weight. The weight.
Yeah.
Okay, the weight is a security system. Okay, the weight is something. All right. What else?
Um. Uh, the belts, security belts,
The
probably too.
belts. Right.
The security
The
belts.
belts, security safety belts or security belts. Right.
The design of
Belts.
the cabin of the car too.
The cabin. Okay. The anti-lock braking system. The ABS. Right. Anti-lock.
Yes.
And you said airbags,
Airbags.
immobilizers. So let's. All right. So go ahead. You said weight. weight. Then you mentioned something else. What did you say besides weight? The brake system.
The brake system,
What else?
airbag system,
Airbag system. What else?
and the design of the cabin too.
Design of the cabin. Right, where the driver is
Yes.
located. Okay, very good. Thank you, Sebas. Andrew, what else would you add to the security of a car? You think the alarm system is important, or the immobilizer, something that immobilizes the car and GPS? What do you think is important for the security of a car, Andrew? I don't know if Andrew is there. Andrew, can you hear me? Let me check if Andrew's there. Okay. Andrew, can you hear me?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, what are security points in a car, please, besides what Seba just mentioned, which is the weight, airbag system, design of the cabin? What else are important security systems of a car, in your opinion?
Mm, I don't know. Maybe the uh, I don't know if it's the correct way to say amortiguation system.
The amortiguation or the damping system, right?
Camping.
The
Yeah,
damping system, yes, the damps. The damping system is very important because that more or less reduces the stress during a crash, a car crash.
yeah, and having a good tires.
Good tires. Well, if they have Continental tires, they're gonna be good, right?
Uh, it's not a promotion.
No, 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 of course not, but well, they are good tires. Not very cheap though. They are not extremely inexpensive. They are a bit pricey, but they are very good car tires. What do you think about the anti-lock braking system? Is this important or not? And why is this important? Anti-lock braking system. Is this important? Yes, no, why? Why is this important, Sebas? Thank you, Andrew. Why is this important? I don't know if Sebas is there. Are you there, Sebas?
Yes, sorry, I was talking with my microphone off.
I'm sorry. All right, okay. So the anti-lock braking system, is this important or not? What is the possible or potential consequence if the braking system gets locked?
mm, I'm not very sure.
You have less maneuverability. You cannot maneuver the
Well,
car if the brakes lock.
well, yes, mm, probably, mm, probably you cannot. Well, would you say maneuverate the car correctly in a situation in types of situations?
Yeah, exactly. And then
Uh,
if the brakes get locked, the car can crash because then you cannot maneuver the car because now
yes,
the brakes are locked. So you don't want to lock the braking system. You want it to continue being workable. You want it to be
yes,
active. So that's the anti-lock braking systems. That's why it is important. Um, and then there is another feature of the car which is called child safety features. That is important. Child safety features. What comes to your mind, Andrew, when I say child safety features. What comes to your mind, Andrew, when I say this? What do you think?
Um, I don't know. I think that it's more about the safety of the child when they are in the car.
Absolutely, absolutely. What can that be? Maybe a belt or an airbag, or what else could it be to make sure
Uh,
the kid is safe? Yeah.
and probably it's more about the design um, of the seat.
Exactly, exactly. Also, there are what is called child locks. What is this child locks? What is this, Andrew? What is a child lock? What
Child
are
lock. Um, mm, maybe it's like a belt.
is well, actually, let me see if I can open up a child lock in a car door. Let's see. Videos, images. I'm gonna share this. Yeah, the child lock will be very easy to see here. I'm gonna share this with you.
I think the
Let
child
me.
lock it's when you put like a well a lock a block
Right,
to John open the door uh, when you are in the car, inside the
right,
car.
exactly, exactly. When the
Ah,
kid,
yeah,
right, this one here. Can you see this in the screen?
yeah.
Yes, teacher.
So even if the kid opens or tries to open the door won't open because it is locked with a special device here, a special clip that you actuate in certain areas of the car. Unlock and lock, right? You see that? All right. Well, that is a child lock, and those are important to maintain the kids safe in the car. There are lots of security items that make cars safer. And well, that is another one. Child safety features. Let's talk about another one, which I'm sure you will recognize, which is uh, cybersecurity. Well, cybersecurity is an electronic control unit security protecting the car's electronic system from hacking attempts, right? And what else do some modern cars have? Well, they have GPS tracking. What is that? What is this? Sebas, what is GPS tracking system for a car? What happens if someone steals your car? Can you track it?
Uh, some cars not with what if you have the GPS tracking. Well, yes,
Yeah, of course, right? Yeah, if you have it, you can track it. If you don't have it, well, you cannot track it, of course.
of course.
All right. Is that something very complicated to develop or to design? What do you think, Andrew? How would you design a tracking system, or how would you adapt a GPS tracking system for a car, Andrew? Would that be something difficult to achieve or to attain, or not very difficult? What do you think? Let's say, Andrew, that you want to develop a GPS tracking for your car. Would that be difficult or not very much, really?
I think that it will not be so difficult, but I don't know how can I uh, uh, develop develop it.
develop it. Okay. Um, well,
Sorry.
no, don't worry. That's well. I don't know how to develop it either. Um, well, first of all, let's see one in a picture. Let me show one in a picture here. Present the whole screen. Let's present the whole screen here. Stream child lock. All right, child lock, or is a GPS tracker for car. GPS tracker for car. So notice it's not really difficult. It's not really complex to get one of those GPS trackers for car right here. Take a look at this. Look, it's not even expensive. Mini tracker, 150 pesos. Who would it say that?
Well, probably it's not too expensive. I think it's more to try to hide it.
Well, yeah, you would hide it, but 150 pesos for
Well,
kids, pets, cars. I think it's not even this one here, tracker, 207 pesos is nothing. What do you think? Did you know this?
no, teacher.
GPS tracker for car. You just plug it to the car and there you
And that's
go.
it.
Yeah?
And
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing. And you can track it through the you can track it. Where would you install it? Where do you install? If let's say that you want to that you have a fleet of taxis, Andrew or Sebas, and you want to make sure that the taxis are moving in the right areas at the right velocity, that they are not making deviations, strange deviations. Where would you install the? Where would you install that tracking system, vehicle tracker? Where would you install it?
Probably mm, near for the motor or in a high place.
In a hidden place, a place where it
Hidden
cannot be
place.
easily detected, right?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Makes total sense. Uh, well, where would it be? Where would you install the tracking system? Andrew, where would you install it?
Mm, um, I don't know. Maybe where it would be so difficult to find. I don't.
Right? Yeah. What is there? Of course, difficult to find. But inside the vehicle, you know where the dashboard is, huh? So you could
Or above.
conceal, or
Yeah.
above, exactly. You have the dashboard. You could conceal it uh, underneath the dashboard or in a location where it's not immediately visible and it can prevent easy detection, right? You can hide it inside panels where you have removable panels, or you can hide it behind the vehicle's interior panels, right? You can hide it in external vehicle parts, like in the well of the wheel. You can install it in the bumper. You know where the bumper is, right? In the bumper. You can install it under the vehicle, in the chassis or in the frame. You can install it in the cargo area,
And the,
it-
in the wheels.
in the wheels, yeah, in the wheels, inside the dashboard components, right? So well, there are many ways you can install the GPS tracking system. But of course, you need to check the ethical aspect of that, plus the legal regulations, right? Because in some places that can be forbidden. As in some companies, it is forbidden to hide the cameras. The cameras need to be visible. If you want to inspect your workers, you cannot install hidden cameras. The cameras need to be visible. Did you know that, Andrew? You are in the industry now. Did you know that the cameras need to be visible
Need
or
to
not?
be invisible or visible.
Visible. You cannot hide cameras. That is against the law. You cannot install a hidden camera in a factory. That breaks the law. The camera needs to be visible so that the workers know that they are under surveillance. The workers must be able to see the camera. Oh, there is a camera. Okay, I continue working. Did you know that?
Yeah, teacher. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, so we're talking about technical aspects of cars, which are incredibly interesting. Um, let's see aspects of car security that you would improve. I mean, what exactly attracts you to the car industry, Andrew, Sebas? What is it exactly that drives you into the car industry, which is very nice, by the way? So, which is the interesting parts of the car industry? Aspects of the car industry. Which are interesting aspects of the car industry? Interesting aspects of the car
Mm,
industry.
probably that now it's it's very useful and one of the most areas of the industry with development that need development.
Okay, so it's very useful. The car industry is very useful, right? It needs development, right? Needs continuous development. What else? Thank you, Sebas. What else, Andrew? What is important about what is interesting about the car industry for you, Andrew?
Well, the opportunity to learn about different processes because, well, for example, in my job, well, there are um, several processes like analyzing treatment, uh, machining, metal machining process. Um, well, actually, there are implementing a new area where they use IA, where they use cameras and robots to certificate the pieces.
Well, they're certified pieces you mentioned. I couldn't hear everything clearly.
Yeah, certifying pieces.
Certifying pieces. Yeah, that is very important to
But actually,
certifying.
yeah, uh, I I'm so very interested to learn about the plastic injection.
Okay, that's incredibly important. Plastic injection. Right. Okay, what else? Plastic injection is important and it's interesting for you too. Um, okay, let me. The car industry is huge. It's a multi-millionaire industry. It's incredibly necessary for the transportation uh, needs that we have to communicate, to commute from one city to another, to visit friends, to go to school, to go to work. The car industry is incredibly affluent and evolving dramatically. It's one of the fastest growing technologies in the world. And clearly, the materials is one of the parts that have evolved. Which materials were formerly used in cars? Uh, okay, in cars. Which modern materials are currently being used? Who can answer this question? Who can answer this question? Sebas, can you read the question and see if you can answer it, please? And then
Uh,
Andrew, you will answer it then, please.
yes, teacher. Which materials were formerly used in cars? In cars, which modern materials are currently being used?
Yeah,
I think aluminum is the most used used material that we use to our cars to make cars.
currently, this
Mm,
moment, right? Okay,
Carbon
all right.
fiber too. It's
Carbon fiber, all right, or fiberglass, right?
fiberglass.
Carbon
Yeah.
fiber, or fiberglass. Carbon fiber and fiberglass are two materials that are very widely used in the car industry. Absolutely. Thank you, Sebas. Other materials that were used in the past, Andrew, that are no longer used in cars. Materials that are no longer used in cars. Materials that were used in the past but no longer car manufacturers are using. Materials no longer used in cars. What do you think are materials no longer used?
Mm, well, I don't know. Mm, Probably steel. Well, steel it's used to. It's now
What?
used
What is that?
as the steel.
Well, there is some type of steel which is no longer used, which is
Really?
non-galvanized steel. Non-galvanized steel is no longer used. Only when it is galvanized. But if it is not non-galvanized, it's no longer used, right?
Okay.
Also, um, there is other material, chrome bumpers. Chrome bumpers. In the past, bumpers used to be made of chrome. They are no longer made of chrome. So that is also being decontinuated. They are not continuated, as well as the drum brakes. Drum brakes.
What is that,
I don't know
teacher?
much about the technology. Yeah?
And what it means drum brake,
Drum
teacher?
brakes. Frenos de tambor. Drum brakes. Let's see if I can show an image. Let me see if I can. Or look it up. Look for drum brakes, please. Versus disc brakes. In the past, they used to have drum brakes, and now they have disc brakes. All right, disc drum brakes. So let me show you.
Ah,
Uh,
I Oh, now I
You
look
found
for
them?
yeah, pictures and yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You saw it?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, drum brakes. So here, can you see this, Andrew? Disc brakes versus drum brakes.
Yeah, teacher. I see.
Okay, you see, and this picture is very clear, right? Drum brake versus disc brakes. Now, most of the cars, modern cars, have disc brakes, which are clearly more efficient and better in many ways, right? Let me um, share this with you guys now. What is the technical difference between drum brakes, Sebas or Andrew, and disc brakes? How are they different? And why is the difference so important or so noticeable? Why is this important? Drum brakes versus disc brakes. Why is the difference so preponderant, so prevalent in these days? Why is that? Drum brakes have almost been decontinuated, whereas disc brakes are very current now. Do you have an idea why? Andrew or
No, teacher.
Sebas? No?
No, teacher.
Well,
Probably that the disc breakers are more efficient.
uh, okay, could be some of the reasons is the heat dissipation. So some of the reasons is that these brakes dissipate heat much better. Heat dissipation is one of the reasons they provide. The other one is something that you mentioned a while ago in some parts of the car, Sebas, which is weight. Weight. These brakes are much lighter, whereas drum brakes are much heavier. So weight is an element, right? Obviously, if the heat dissipation is a problem, the cooling is very different for the disc brakes. Cooling the disc brakes is much easier than cooling the drum brakes, probably because they have better access for air, so they can be cooled off. I don't know if they are cooled with water or with air. Can you check, Andrew and Sebas? How
Uh,
are the disc and the drum brakes cooled off? Can you please? How are they cooled? How do you cool off the disc and the um, drum brakes? Do you cool them off the same or differently? I have no idea, but well, let's see. How do you cool off the brakes? How do you cool off the disc and the drum brakes?
I think too. One difference is the cost.
The cost, okay, which is more expensive, which are more
The drum,
expensive.
the drum breaks, teacher.
They are more expensive.
A bit.
Any reason why?
Mm, I don't know.
I th-
Probably that needs more materials.
I
Well,
think that
probably that it's hardly to. Uh, it's hard, it's more hard to install it.
Harder to install could be. Andrew, what do you think? Thank you, Sebas. What do you think, Andrew?
well, I think that they are low cost because They are more cheaper to manufacture,
They are
and they
cheaper.
are, yeah, cheaper,
They are
and
cheaper to manufacture.
they are more widely used on almost all types of vehicles.
More widely used, huh? All right. Well, that is good to know. Okay. Well, so we're talking about which materials were formerly used in cars and which materials are no longer used in cars. Non-galvanized steel, chrome bumpers, and drum brakes. Those are some of the materials that are no longer used in cars, right? And that is, well, that's probably something good. Other materials that are not used in cars anymore are natural rubber only tires. Natural rubber only tires. In the past, the tires were made of rubber. What is the technology of tires now? Um, Andrew, you work in a German tire company. So, what is the material that they use to make the tires in these days? What materials do they use to make the tires?
Well, I work in a Germany company, but in this plant, they are not working with tires. They are working with the
Oh,
system
with the brake system.
brake system. Yeah,
They also manufacture the brake system. Wow, that's amazing. And what
yeah.
type of brake system do they have? What type of brake system? Do they have the disc brakes or the drum brakes?
Well, uh, they made uh they make the hydraulic control system.
Hydraulic control system. Well, that is
Yeah,
incredibly important. Hydraulic control system of the brake.
of the brake. Yeah.
So, can you give us a hint, an idea on how the brakes work? In general terms, we don't want you to reveal any proprietary technology or something that you consider that is confidential. Just speaking in general terms, how does a hydraulic control system work for brakes in general terms?
Well, the brake system works uh, in base of the signals about the exactly moment when you want to use the brake to stop at a tire when you uh, I don't know how to say, vas a parar repentinamente.
You stop suddenly or you suddenly stop.
You suddenly stop. The system, the brake system. Uh, I don't know how it works exactly. How it exactly
Well,
works.
well, let's see. There is a diagram here. It looks truly interesting. Brake testing setup. This brake fluid. All right, here there is an image. I'm gonna copy the image that I found here. I'm sure that this is very basic and there are more sophisticated systems, but let's just paste this here. Really, I mean, it's very basic for my mind, but well, here it is. Actually, I'm gonna cut it here. What do you see, Sebas? Andrew, what do you see here? There is the rotor. I mean, what do you see here in the arrow, Andrew? What do you see here? This is the what? What is this? This is the disc brake, right?
Yeah, this brake.
Then you have like a cylinder here, apparently.
Okay.
And then, oh, give me a second because someone is knocking at the door. Give me a quick second, really quick, please. I'll be right back. Fine. Okay, I'm sorry. Here I am. I'm back. All right. So you were saying that what do you see here? There is this brake, the brake fluid. I don't understand what the brake fluid does here. What is the purpose of the brake fluid?
The brake fluid. I think that the purpose is to uh, how do you say dirigir?
Direct.
Direct the pressure on the uh, pistons to act in the wells.
Okay.
I don't know. I
All
think
right.
so.
So they direct. They conduct the piston, and I don't see the piston.
Well, in this type of system, brake system, I think that there are not piston.
There are no pistons. All right. And then there is on the right a master cylinder, a pressure transducer. I guess this measures the pressure and this generates a signal, an electric signal here. And the electric signal should actuate a device that should be a microcontroller or do something. I guess here there must be like a microcontroller that is actuated with the transducer, and this microcontroller will do something, will do an operation. I'm not sure what operation that'll be, but okay, then here we have the brake pedal, right? Um, so you actuate the brake pedal, that'll generate a torque in the arm, in the pivot, that will, I'm trying to understand the diagram. Then it will have the master cylinder, and that will also uh, inject some fluid in the brake, and that'll stop the brake. But you don't want the brake to be locked, so you have the ABS anti-lock braking system. Okay, well, this is just an internet diagram. I'm sure they are more elaborate. Hydraulic disc brake system. Oh, this is what you do, Andrew. The hydraulic brake system. Let me
Yeah,
let me copy this. Copy image, and this is what your company does. I think hydraulic. I don't know if I can increase the size. Brake piston, brake pad. Oh, this is not very visible. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Hydraulic brake system. Can you see this, Evas? Hydraulic brake system. Hydraulic brake
Yeah, I can
system.
see it, teacher.
Okay, because this is This bad caliper hydraulic brake system.
Yeah,
Well,
teacher, but I think that the hydraulic brake system is more about of ABS in my case of the company.
more connected to the ABS. All right. Okay.
ABS,
ABS. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, let's. Okay. Well, that's becoming too technical, and I am getting old. Not confused, but it's becoming overwhelming.
Me,
But
yes.
oh, you too, right? Okay. Well, this is an interesting topic, anyways. But let's. I'm going to ask you to please write a short story about a bear that stole a car and took it for a little ride and then came back and gave the car back. So, write, please. I'm going to put instructions here. Please write a short story about a bear that took a car for a ride and gave it back. So I'm gonna show the instructions here. It's like giving it a funny corollarium, right? So write a short story, 50 to 100 words, no more than that, where a bear takes a car for a ride and gives it back. Okay, here. These are the instructions. Let's write it in maybe. Do you feel comfortable writing in Jamboard,
No, teacher.
or you want to write it like maybe in another app?
Well, in Jamboard, it's okay.
Jamboard. Okay. So let's write it here. Let me send you the link. Share. Share. Copy the link. Restricted. Anyone with the link. You're an editor. And done. So here is the link to the Jamboard, and I'm gonna copy this in here as well. Jamboard and Jamboard for Sebas as well here. So you guys have the Jamboard now. You're more than welcome to join in and write your story there, please. Is a short story where a bird takes a car for a ride and gives it back and gives the car back after a few adventures. After a few adventures. All right. So, are the instructions of the composition clear? Is the instruction clear, Sebas, Andrew?
Yeah, teacher, it's totally clear.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Well,
Nice.
it's clear, but
Let's
it's
write a short
strange.
story. Strange. Yeah. Well, of course, bears don't drive cars.
Yeah.
That's what is fun about the story. I'm gonna write my own story. A bear called. Let's see. Let's use. All right. Here. I'm gonna write my own story. Uh, kind bear. I don't know if there is such thing as a kind bear. Took stole a car whose driver forgot the keys inside. Let me only share the Jamboard. A kind bear stole a car whose driver forgot the keys inside. The bear was stunned when he switched the engine on and felt very joyful when he could accelerate. Um, the car started moving. Um, what an episode! As he started driving along the streets Irapuato. What a thrilling episode. What a thrilling episode that he started driving along the streets of Irapuato. Other conductors were gazing in awe and could not believe their eyes. A bear driving a car. There was something strange. The bear seemed to be very gentle and kind. He stopped to let the peasants pass when he arrived at a corner of a block or street. That made the other drivers furious. He was different. So they called the transit officers to complain that was a bear driving car, probably without a license. Lots of transit. Okay, so the bear seemed to be very gentle and kind. Stolen by the corner street. He made a full stop at the traffic lights and he drove slowly when there was a drive slow sign. That made the drivers furious. All the transitors to complain there was a better complaint with a sense. Lots of transit. Police officers gathered and stopped and pulled off the bear and gave him a huge fine. The bear was desolated. He promised never to drive a car again. Well, this has a sad ending. Well, it's just a bit comic. So I finished the story. Okay. Well, I finished my story. If somebody wants to read it. Who is in the Jamboard? Is it you, Andrew, or is it you, Sebas?
It's me.
Okay. So Andrew probably will write the story in the WhatsApp, I suppose.
Yeah, teacher.
That's perfect. Perfect. Excellent. That's not a problem. That's great. To let the pedestrian, not peasants, the pedestrians. Let me look for a bear. Well, I got my here. Let's see the stories. Well, here. Right.
Give me 5 minutes more, teacher. I
Yes,
get
yes, yes. Take your
discouraged.
time. No, don't worry. That take your time. Well, I want to present the window of the Jamboard here. Sorry. Ah, qué bueno. Oh,
I told you that I finished, teacher.
no, I couldn't hear you. Did you
Ah,
finish? Oh, very nice.
yes.
Let's see. Oh, this is the story of a bell called Bernardo. Bear. Bernardo. I like the name. Bernardo. Very nice. That's a nice name. Okay. Let's read it. Sebas, let me see if Andrew is about to finish. Andrew, how are you doing? Are you about to finish, or you still see still more time?
Yeah, teacher, I'm finished.
You're finished. Excellent. If you can please send the story to the WhatsApp, that'd be great, please. And let's listen to Sebas reading his story about a bear called Bernardo. Okay, can you read it, Sebas, please?
Yes, teacher. He was a normal boy in the forest with a normal life, but a day he uh, very close to the forest, a big tournament of careers was I forgot his I think I forgot to write it. He saw a big tournament of careers, so he was delighted to see all the cars at the competition. So he decided to participate too. But there was a problem. He didn't have a car. After days of thinking, he decided to steal a car to participate. So he went to a town and he searched for a car that he likes the most. After finding it, he stole it. For obvious reasons, Bernardo didn't know how to drive the car and he crashed sometimes before to arrive to tournament. When he arrived, all the people was laughing because, well, a bear was driving a car and they thought there was a joke and the people let him compete. When the career starts, he crashed at the first corner and the car was destroyed almost completely. He returns the car and only gives some wheels and parts of the car and a note that says, I hope this is enough to make up for it. Next to a bottle of honey. The end.
It's very cute. I like the story. There are some small typos, like for example, the career, the spelling of career. Actually, it's a car race. A car race.
Oh.
So he was there to see all the cars that compete. So he decided to participate. He didn't have a car. After days of thinking, he decided to steal a car. Stole is the past tense. The present is to steal a car. So he went to a town and he searched. In past tense would be searched for a car that he liked. In past tense the most, um, comma, and after a preposition, the verb is normally in gerund. He stole it. Perfect. For for obvious reasons, it's repeated. For obvious reasons, Bernardo, because it's a proper name is Bernardo, didn't know how to drive the car, and he crashed it. He crashed sometimes arriving, before arriving at the tournament, at the competition. When he arrived, all the people were laughing because, well, a bear was driving a car, and they thought there was a joke, and the people let him compete. Excellent, very good, Sebas. When the race, when the car race started, started, he crashed, past tense, at the first corner, and the car was destroyed almost completely. Completely. When he returned the car, he only gave some wheels and parts of the car and a note that said, hope this is enough to make up for it next to a bottle of honey, when you refer to a said, I hope in quotation marks. The end. Great story, Sebas. I like it very much. Very good. Thank you very much. Let's see Andrew's story. Andrew, you have your story. You want to share it? You want to send it to the WhatsApp maybe?
Yeah, teacher, give me a few minutes.
Okay, okay. Take your time. Take your time. Here we're going to call it Bernardo, also with capital B, Sebas. Let's read it
Ready,
again.
teacher.
Ready? Okay. Uh, Ted is a little bear. All right, let's read it. Let's read your story. Andrew, please.
Okay. Ted is a little bird who have no idea how the cars work, neither what he should to know before to ride one. Because, well, he's a bird, and why would he need to use a car? Hmm. Returning the history, he rejected the nature and he searched the way to steal a car for driving freely around the Tennessee city. Unfortunately, I don't know how to pronounce.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, the
perfect.
state of the car were terrible and he lost the total control when he drives at high speeds and
Speeds.
speeds and he crashed violently against a tree. In conclusion, he was enough smart to steal a car, but not enough to drive it, and he will never be able to deliver it back.
Well, great story too, with a lot of creativity, Andrew. I love the stories, both of them. Yours and Seba's story, they are both great stories. Let me just make a couple of comments. Um, I'm gonna share the screen for what? Let me share the screen so I can make a couple of comments ab- about the story. Okay, the story is great. Let me just make a few changes here. Ted is a little bear who has or had no idea how the cars worked. Neither what he should know. It doesn't have to. What he should know before writing. After a preposition, the verb is in gerund. Before writing one, because well, he's a bear, and why would he need to use a car? Returning to the history, he rejected nature, nature, and searched for the way to steal a car for driving freely around the Tennessee city. Excellent. Unfortunately, the state of the car was terrible, and he lost total control when he drove at high speed and he crashed violently against a tree. In conclusion, he was smart enough to steal a car, comma, but not enough to drive it, and he will never be able to deliver it back. Okay, great story. Can you read it again like it is now? Andrew, please.
Okay, teacher. Ted, it's a little bird. It's a little bird who had no idea how the cars work, neither what he should know before riding one, because, well, he's a bear, and why would he need to use a car? Returning to the history, he rejects nature and search for the way to steal a car for driving freely around the Tennessee City. Unfortunately, the stage of the car was terrible and he lost the total control when he drove at high speed
Speed.
and he crashed violently against a tree. In conclusion, he was smart enough to steal a car, but not enough to drive it, and he will never be able to deliver it back.
Excellent. Great stories. Great stories. Your story great. Sebas, your
Oh,
story great too. I love them. Well, I'm gonna ask you to please read my story. Please alternate. Sebas, maybe you can read the first paragraph, Andrew the second, Sebas the third, and Andrew the fourth paragraph, please. I'm gonna share the screen here and I'm gonna show you the Jamboard here. So here is the story. Can you please read the first paragraph, Sebas, please?
Yes, teacher. A camber borrowed a car whose driver forgot the keys inside. The bird was tuned when he switched the engine on and felt very joyful when he could accelerate. The car started moving.
Okay, when he could accelerate, the car started moving. Okay, Andrew, the second paragraph, please.
what a thrilling episode as he started driving along the streets of Irapuato. Other conductors were gazing in
Awe,
what in what
awe, gazing in awe, in surprise,
gazing
in
in
awe, gazing in
gazing in awe. Well, and could not believe their eyes and beer driving a car.
Very good, Andrew. Thank you. Sebas, continue, please. Can you?
Yes, teacher. But there was something strange. The bird seemed to be very gentle and kind. He stopped to let the pedestrians pass. When he arrived at the corner of a street, he made a full stop at the traffic lights and he drove slowly where there was a drive slow sign. That made the other drivers furious. He was so different.
Okay. So, Andrew, please, the last paragraph.
That was too much, so they called the transit officers to complain that there was a bear driving a car, probably without a license. Lots of transit and police officers gathered, gathered or
Gathered,
gathered and off the bear,
pulled off,
uh,
pulled off, pulled off the
pulled
bear.
pulled off the bear and gave him a huge fine. The
Fine is
bear
multa.
was the bear was desolate. He promised never
Desolated.
to drive. Desolated. The bear was desolated. He promised never to drive a car again.
Okay. Okay. Well, three different stories, three different styles. But, well, this is a hidden criticism of the drivers in Irapuato. And in Leon, they are the same. And in Mexico City, they are all incredibly, I think, uncourteous. How is the people in Zacatecas, Sebas? Are they courteous? Are they polite when they drive, or they are also impolite, like they are
I'm
here in
polite.
Leon? And Impolite, really.
Yeah.
So that's a general thing in
Yeah,
every
I think
city.
it's a general thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because in Irapuato they're extremely impolite. In León they are the same, and in Mexico City, well, I cannot even tell you. Okay, well, let me uh, give you a short story. Uh, Give me a second. Driving a car. All right. Short story about a bear driving a car. Here is Benny. He's a bear driving a car, but this is a bit long. Let me get a shorter story because this thing makes stories in a second, which are just amazing. To a very short story, a bird driving a car, and I will share the story with you in a moment. Okay, here I'm gonna share the story. I'll put it here, and I'm gonna share. Stop screen. Present. It's the window here. Okay, this is a interesting story. Benny the bear. Okay, here. Let me divide it into paragraphs. Okay, who wants to read the first paragraph, please?
Me, teacher.
Okay, Andrew, please.
Okay. In the heart of a tranquil forest, Benny the bear stumbled upon a
Stumbled. Stumbled.
stumble stumbled upon an abandoned car
Abandoned. Abandoned
abandoned
car.
abandoned car intri- intrigued he
Intrigued.
intrigued he clambered
Clambered. Clambered.
clambered into the driver's seat, paused on the wheel
On the wheel.
on the wheel. To his surprise, the engine roared to life.
Perfect. Yeah, started to move in allegoric way. Very good, Andrew. Thank you very much. Sebas, please, can you continue?
Yes, teacher. Benny, with a gleam in his eye, embarked on the wildest adventure of his bear life, cruising through the woods, leaving astonished, astonished creatures,
Astonished.
astonished,
Astonished.
astonished creatures in his funny wake. And so Benny the bear became the unlikely king of the forest roads, a legend among the trees, and a driver of whimsy,
Whimsy. Whimsy.
whimsy in the heart of wild, wilderness.
Wilderness. Right. Okay. There are many words that may seem uh, unusual. May seem unusual. Uh, so let's see which words seem unusual for you. For example, what is stumbled, right? Let's look up the word stumbled. What is stumbled? Word that may seem difficult. Uh, he clambered into the driver's seat, paused on the wheel, and to his surprise, the engine roared to life. This is another word. These are verbs. Gleam, gleam is like brillo, right? Gleam. embark on the wildest adventure of his bear life, cruising through the woods, leaving astonished critters in his fury wake. Critters. A legend among trees and a river whimsy in the heart of the wilderness. All right. Um, so let's look up for these words. Stumbled. What do you think?
Uh, can you repeat, teacher?
Yes. What is the meaning of these words in green?
Um, Stumbled, it's tropezar, right?
Right. Exact. Yes.
Clamber,
What else?
Es como trepar.
Trepar. Exactly. What
roared,
is
Rugir.
rugir? Rugió. The engine roared to life. Gleam. What is gleam? What is gleam?
like
Mm,
shine.
What?
It's similar to shine, probably.
Shine, yeah, like a brillo, right? A gleam in his eye. Brillo en su ojo, right? Okay, very good. Now, what is critters? Critters.
Um, I don't know.
Okay, you can, I mean, you can look it up,
Let me search for
please.
it, picture.
Yes, please, Sebas. Critters.
Um, it's bichos.
Yes, in his fury wake, yeah, he's a bear. So the critters were surprised, were astonished in the
Yeah.
fury wake, right?
And
Whimsy.
whimsy.
What is
Let me
whim?
search.
Whim is capricho, right?
Ah, so caprichosa.
Yeah, a driver of whimsy in the heart of the wilderness. Okay. Okay, very good. So, what do you think of the reading, Andrew?
Funny.
Funny, right?
Yeah.
It's funny. Yeah, okay. So, mm, I mean, even the name Benny the bear, right?
Benny the Bird.
Benny the bear.
I think Benny and Bernardo need
Need
some
to
meaning.
meet exactly. I love this name, Bernardo. Bernardo. Yeah, you saw the word bear, Andrew, hidden in Bernardo.
yeah,
Bernardo.
teacher.
It's
Bird. Yeah.
bear. It's very funny, right? Loved it. Okay, Benny the bear. All right. Well, how do you? The main question is, how do you feel writing a little bit? Well, they are absurd stories. However, they give us a kind of nice feeling, a feeling of, in my case, of a feeling of relaxation. I also take advantage to make a little social criticism of how impolite people are when they drive. And so I take pride in writing like this. How do you feel when writing like this, Andrew? What's your feeling?
Well, I think that I feel so excited because writing a history or something, it's always uh, a way to express um, any uh,
Ideas,
well,
thoughts.
any idea? Well, it's it's more deeper because you can uh I how can I say, you can to wake up you your imagination, your creativity.
Yeah, you can exploit your imagination. You can, yeah, exploit your imagination, your creativity. Exactly, exactly. And besides, you are an artist. You like drawing. I think you like painting. I don't know if you like painting, but you like drawing. So you know the meaning of art. And art also finds its expression in writing, because, as you say, it's creative writing. So very good. I appreciate the comment, Andrew. Thank you. Sebas, what's your feeling when you write something that may be clumsy or a little bit silly? When we write about a bear driving a car, of course, you say, "Oh, this is absurd." But how do you feel?
At the beginning, desesperated because I didn't know what I wrote
What
for
to
the
write?
history,
Okay.
but when I start to write, I think the ideas start to come in by
Yeah,
themselves.
exactly.
So when I was writing, I feel good.
Okay, of course, it gives you a nice feeling, right?
Yes.
Very nice. Well, I would like to encourage you to constantly write with different styles. It's very different to write for academic purposes than to write for art or artistic purposes, or to write for a technical background. So we have exploited today technical jargon, technical explanations, which are very complex in a way. Also, we have written something very funny and creative, as Andrew says, and you say, Sebas, too. And I would like to encourage you to invite you to write all kinds of styles: fiction, novel writing, story writing, technical writing, academic writing, and that will give you different experiences. And you will notice that it's a lot of fun. Not necessarily easy at the beginning, but eventually you will enjoy it the more you do it. What do you think, Andrew? Some final comments about the art of writing. Do you feel that you can take the challenge?
Yeah, teacher, I take the challenge because writing is always a tool to develop the expression, the the way that you can uh, you can improve your. For example, in this case, I can improve my vocabulary, my level of the language,
Of course, absolutely. Yes.
and I think that it's a tool that obviously can help me to to talk with the people uh, in certain way.
Okay, exactly. Perfect. Very good comments, Andrew. Thank you very much. How about you, Andrew? What are your closing arguments in favor of writing? What do you think it conveys, it gives you? How do you think you can take advantage of writing different styles of productions?
Uh, Me against?
Yeah. No, no, no. Sebas. I'm
Uh,
sorry. I said Andrew. I'm sorry,
did
Sebas.
you you
No,
say
Sebas.
Andrew?
I'm sorry. No, Sebas. Sebas, what do you think? How can you produce art, technical writings, academic writings, artistic writings. How do you think you can exploit the talents that certainly you guys have?
I don't think that I have the type of ability,
Well, you do, you
but
do. You do.
I think it's you need to read a lot to increase your vocabulary and increase your probably your thinking at the moment to be writing an history. Well, you refer to art of writing, right?
The art of writing, academic writing, technical writing, novelistic writing, fiction writing, there are all kinds of writings. And then you can simply exploit all of them because there is not a limitation. As Andrew says, just exploit your creativity.
Well, what I say, read a lot about the topic that you are going to talking about. Try to let your imagination, your thinking free.
Le- Yeah, exactly. You're free thinking. Yes, exactly right. Very good. Very
And
good. Yes. And
well, I think that's all.
well, but that's sufficient, right? That's plenty.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I would like to thank you. Good writings, good stories. I like them very much. And well, continue next Tuesday. We meet again on Tuesday, all right? I'll see if I can be there.
Okay, teacher.
And then, well, thank you for your comments. Take care and see you on Tuesday then.
See you Tuesday, teacher. Goodbye.
Okay, teacher. See
Uh,
you
Take care.
Tuesday.
enjoy your weekend.
Enjoy. You too. Good
Enjoy
evening.
Bye.
your
Take care.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.